In my last video, I shared a ComfyUI workflow using a Krea2 model. It showed how to create massive images over 40 megapixels with incredible details. However, a lot of you were not entirely happy with that video. The problem was that I uploaded it in 1080p. Because of that lower resolution, I just could not show off those fine details properly. So today we are going to fix that. I'm bringing you this new video in crystal clear 1440p. This way you can finally see exactly what I was talking about. Along the way, I will also explain exactly which settings you need to change to control the amount of detail in your own projects. Before we get into the technical stuff, let's take a quick look at some sample images made with this setup. Every image you are looking at right now is 5504 by 7296 pixels. That gives us right around 40 megapixels of pure quality. Keep in mind, this is just the starting point. If you do not mind waiting a bit longer for the image to generate, you can actually push this even higher and get much larger images. I also recommend switching the YouTube playback quality from 1080p to 1440p. That way, you'll be able to see the fine details in these images much more clearly. Alright, let's go ahead and check out the workflow itself. Just as a quick note, I built this entire setup using Running Hub. If you want to read up on how that works, I have put a handy link for you right down in the video description. I already explained the whole step-by-step process in my previous video. Because of that, I'm not going to do a deep dive into every single node today. Instead, we are just going to focus on a few of the most important settings you need to know. Let's start with controlling the detail level. If you want to change how much detail shows up, you need to look at one specific setting. That setting is the strength of the Turbo LoRA. It is the absolute most important parameter for this task. When you are setting this up, I highly recommend using the raw model rather than the turbo model. There are two good reasons for this. First off, the raw model gives you a much better variety of starting seeds. This means your images will look more unique. Secondly, using the raw model actually lets you use that LoRA strength slider to fine-tune your details perfectly. It works exactly like you would expect. If you turn the strength up higher, you get more tiny details. On top of that, turning up the strength makes your final image composition look a lot more like what the turbo model would make on its own. I do need to give you a quick warning though, this LoRA strength setting is incredibly sensitive. You have to make very small adjustments. Even if you just change the number by 0.05 up or down, you will see a difference in the final image details. There is one other major parameter that changes your final details. You will find this one in the very last group of nodes. It is the denoising strength on the ClownShark sampler. For the best results, you generally want to keep this setting somewhere between 0.4 and 0.6. I also want to mention the ADA parameter here. Increasing the ADA value can help clean up some small artifacts in the image. For example, it can reduce things like stray hair above the eyebrows or unnatural smooth patches on the skin. That's actually one of the main reasons why I use the ClownShark sampler in this workflow. However, there is a trade-off. If you push the ADA value too high, some of the fine details can start to get washed out. Once you get comfortable playing around with these few settings in ComfyUI, you will be in great shape. You will have no problem pulling out those amazing details in your own high-resolution artwork. That wraps up everything I wanted to cover today. If you found this helpful and want to really understand the whole process, I strongly suggest going back to watch my last video. It breaks down the entire workflow from starting to finish. If you enjoyed this, please consider subscribing to the channel for more content like this. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful day.